Hi, I'm just going to do a quick video on this little voltmeter that it was a little kit that came from Amazon. And I just have some build tips for you that might help you with this project and actually help you operate the device. So this was a little cheapy solder kit from Amazon that I got for, I think it was $7 or $8. And it was maybe, I'm not the fastest soldering person in the world, but it took my time, and it maybe took me about an hour to build. When I first tested it against this little known battery pack, which is just a pack of 4 AA cells in a little holder, I was a little disappointed because it was measuring 6.9 volts. And I thought, well, that can't be right because I know these are each 1.5 volt batteries. So it should be, they're not brand new. So there should be around 6 volts, somewhere around there. I put it on my multimeter, kind of a known, not an expensive one. I think this was a $10 one. And it was registering 5.9 volts. So I thought, well, it's off by a full volt. That doesn't make it very useful. Then I noticed this little blue item here on it. And I noticed further that it had a little adjustment screw. So I thought, well, maybe that's some sort of calibration for this device. I couldn't find the documentation that comes with this, by the way, is probably the worst I've ever seen of any Chinese kit I've ever bought. So there are a couple of nice build pages for this, so you can see pictures of where the parts go. I would rely on that rather than any of the documentation that comes with this item. So I adjusted this little screw here until I got 5.9 volts on my little battery pack here, which I will demonstrate for you. So I'm going to just put those on and then the other leads. And you can see it's now registering on the display 5.9 volts. I then thought, well, that's only one reference device. So I got a little ham radio I have. And it was registering on its battery terminals on the back on my meter 7.2 volts, but on this it was registering 7.4. So I made some further slight adjustments, and so now they're in agreement. And with my multimeter and with the little device here that I built from Hiletgo. So now they agree, and I tested several other devices, and now my multimeter is in agreement with this little device. Now, another note on this device, it doesn't have its own power supply, so it's actually taking power from whatever it is you're testing to run the device itself. That means it's really not going to give you an accurate reading on anything that's less than 3.5 volts. So you can't really use this as a battery tester on most C batteries, AA, AAA, because they're only going to be 1.5 volts. There are ways to give this little device its own power supply, but at that point, you're just better off getting a multimeter. I more bought this just to have a fun little thing to build. And it was good for that. No question about it. It seemed quality. The board was nice. I didn't really have any issues with it. Pretty straightforward. It has, things on the front and back to solder on the back here. It's got a very large integrated circuit you can see there, and it comes with the chip. So really not a bad little learning kit, especially for kids. They can play around. This is not, however, for anything over 30 volts. So they're hopefully are not going to go around and test anything other that's higher than 30 volts. So just, again, another nice little toy to play with. And I hope this little tip helps your device run more accurately.